my game week 5 FPL team selection. In this video, we're going to look at how my wildcard came to my rescue after a really terrible start to the season, what that means for my team going into game week 5. We're also going to look at what the best possible option, or rather who the best possible option is for captaincy, seeing as Salah hasn't really had a great start to the season and he is having an early kickoff on Saturday ahead of the deadline. So in this video, we're going to discuss what my team is shaping up looking like going into game week 5, possible captain options, and how my wildcard did in game week 4. What's up, guys? So let's look at what my team scored and how I fared in game week 4. In game week 4, my team scored a total of 68 points. I had Raya in goal. As you all know, I had my wildcard activated in game week 4. I brought in Raya as my starting goalkeeper. Just doing a little bit of future planning there, looking forward to when Arsenal's fixtures turn from game week 7 when they go away to face West Ham. So I brought Raya, just a little bit of future planning. He did give me a clean sheet in the game against Nottingham Forest, returning 6 points. In my defense, I had Van Dijk, Munoz, and I started Tosin as my third defender. Van Dijk returning a clean sheet and 2 bonus points for me in that game, as they clinched a late winner against Burnley through Salah's penalty. Munoz also returning a clean sheet. Unfortunately, he got booked in that game against Sunderland. And I'm honestly going to say that I was a little bit disappointed from Crystal Palace's approach to the game. I really did think they were going to, I thought we were going to see a lot of goals in the game, attacking returns from potential Crystal Palace assets, maybe even some of the Sunderland assets, because Sunderland have looked really decent for a promoted side so far this season. So it was a really stale game. Just the 5 points from Munoz after he got, he picked up a yellow card. And then Tosin, I don't know what made me have so much faith in the Chelsea defense. Tosin scored just the 1 point, which was really terrible, considering that I had Van der Ven on my bench who scored 14 points. I think I was a bit biased and pushed away by the concept of them conceding that 1 goal to Bournemouth in the game before game week 4. So that kind of tilted, me towards not starting him and just starting Tosin against Brentford, and it, backfired horribly. Tosin missed out on DEFCON points by 1 defensive contribution as well, which was just really sad to see. 1 point from him in my defense. In my midfield, I had Gakpo, who returned 3 points for me in the game against Burnley. Kudus also returning 3 points. Hasn't really gotten any goal contribution since his 2 assists in the first game of the season against Burnley. I don't know what his output is going to look like going forward, but I am keeping an eye on him because he may not really be in my team going forward. I'm just still trying to keep an eye on what or how his role develops under Thomas Frank, whether he is going to be a big chance creator or going to be getting directly involved in most of the goal contributions. But he returned 3 points for me. Salah, coming to the rescue as our captain, clinching that late penalty win against Burnley and returning 18 points as captain. And Semenyo, I would honestly say the best FPL player, rather FPL own asset this season, returning 13 points, a goal and an assist, returning 3 bonus points as well, helping Bournemouth clinch a 2-1 win against Brighton as well. I think he is also the FPL asset that has risen the most in price so far this season, so he's just been on terrific form for them. It also seems that he is on penalties when Kluivert isn't on the field, so that's good to know for FPL managers that have him as well. So the 13 points from him. Up top, I had Watkins. I was really hoping, or I am still hoping, that his redemption curve is around the corner, seeing as they are hosting Sunderland this game week. He returned just the 2 points from me in the game against Everton over the weekend. João Pedro coming through with an assist, to help Chelsea clinch a 2-2 draw in the game against Brentford. He returned 7 points, and he was my vice captain as well. Mateta had 2 points, disappointing from him in the game against Sunderland as well, although he did get an assist in their midweek game against Millwall. So 68 points from him. On my bench, I had Reinders, who returned 3 points, and I also had Goodmanson, who unfortunately got an own goal and dropped down to 0 points. Dubravka also returned 3 points. on my bench. So a really, slight green arrow up to 2.8 million. I feel that Haaland brace against Manchester United really hurt my rank. Prior to that, I was, in top 1 million, but that's okay. It's still a lot of positives to take from my wild card. I do like the way my team is set up from this wild card. I do think my only regrets may have been moving away from Haaland on my wild card, but I do have a plan to get him back, and that will be discussed in some of my videos in the coming game weeks ahead of possibly game week 6 when City host Burnley. So yeah, this is what my team looks like or looked like in game week 4, 68 points. So we're just gonna take a look at what my team is shaping up going into game week 5, right? In game week 5, I'm going to be starting Raya in goal. They are hosting Manchester City this weekend. So far, Arsenal have had the best. I believe Arsenal has the best defense in Europe. Undoubtedly so. They have not considered a goal from open play so far this season. They have just been exceptional. They have been really solid in defense. Raya obviously is the starting goalkeeper. It's a big game. We know what Arsenal's record is at the Emirates in the Premier League. So I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy clean sheet, or if there is even going to be a clean sheet. But one thing I'm hoping on is for Raya to get a lot of saves. City look like they're beginning to find an edge, find their feet, find their form. They've won 2 games on the spin for the first time in a while. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be an end-to-end game. Arsenal possibly concede in this game. Who knows, right? But yeah, Raya is going to start for me. In my defense, I have my back three of Virgil, Van Dijk, Munoz, and I am bringing Van der Ven into my defense. Yes. Van Dijk is hosting Everton in the Merseyside derby. We know how those games always go. I honestly don't see Liverpool coming away with a clean sheet, but I am hoping for some DEFCON points from Van Dijk, and possibly we see him, get a goal or an assist or something in the game. Everton have looked a really decent side this season, and I honestly see them getting a goal. Liverpool's defense hasn't really looked solid so far this season. I think aside from the Burnley game, they haven't kept any other clean sheets. Even in the Champions League, they conceded 2 to Atletico Madrid as well. So I don't really see them keeping a clean sheet in this game against Everton. But Van Dijk is going to be my starting defender. Munoz away to West Ham. I'm hoping he gets, a couple of goal contributions and a possible clean sheet. West Ham have been really terrible from set pieces and, crosses in general. And Munoz delivers a lot of those into the box. I'm hoping he gets a couple of goal contributions in that game. Van der Ven is going to be my third defender away at Brighton. Thomas Frank also has been really, really great defensively for Tottenham this season. I think they have conceded in just the one game where they lost to Bournemouth. So far this season, they have not conceded in any other game, seeing that they faced Manchester City, they faced Burnley, and just this weekend, the past, they faced West Ham as well. They have been really good. They also didn't concede in their game against Villarreal in the Champions League. So I feel like Thomas Frank has brought that defensive solidity to the team, and it's already looking really, really good for them going forward. So Van der Ven is going to start for me as my third defender. In my midfield, I'm going with Cody Gakpo, Kudus, Mohamed Salah, and Semedo as my starting midfield. Gakpo, I think, has still been really great for Liverpool. Looks sharp anytime he's on the ball. Always looks, like a potential goal threat. And I think this is a game where he gets something out of it. I am a bit worried about what his minutes would look like now with Ishak, getting match fitness. I don't know what Slot's plan would be, whether he would decide to start 2 strikers at some point. It just does pose a little risk for Gakpo. But I do still have faith that he continues to keep his place, at least for now. Kudos away at Brighton. I'm hoping he finally gets his goal for Tottenham in this game. I feel it's going to be an end-to-end game, so I hope Kudus does get something out of the game. Mohamed Salah, like I said, it's really, really tricky for me putting the armband on Salah right now. It's an early kickoff. I usually don't like to back my captain against the early kickoff because it's usually almost never goes well. And also when you look at the fact that Salah hasn't really been himself so far from the start of the season till now, it's just not, it doesn't feel wise for me. But if you look at the structure of my team, he looks like the ideal option, right? rather the only reasonable option. So my captain armband is on him right now. I am going to talk about a possible alternative that I am looking at. Semedo is my fourth midfielder at home to Newcastle. Really terrific form. Bournemouth at home. I back him to get something out of the game. Newcastle have also been really good defensively this season, but I do think Semedo could get something out of the game. So he is my fourth midfielder. Up top, I have Watkins, who is away to Sunderland. I am hoping that Villa finally gets a goal return or a goal in the Premier League. We saw them score in the Carabao Cup, but unfortunately they still lost that game. So I'm hoping that they find their form in this game against Sunderland. My second striker is going to be João Pedro away at Manchester United. And honestly, I would say just because I don't have Cole Palmer, João Pedro is an interesting one for me in choice, or rather in terms of a potential captain. I do think he may just get reasonable points. I know the Chelsea-Manchester United game sometimes can be a really stale game, and it could just go either ways, but I think Pedro has some really good starts right from when he was at Brighton against Manchester United, and starting as their number 9, I think he does get something out of this game. I would even feel more comfortable with him as my captain rather than having Salah. Don't get me wrong, Salah is the best FPL asset ever. I'm just really skeptical about, number one, the team he's facing and the time that he is facing, or rather the time that his match kicks off. But yeah, João Pedro is my vice captain right now. It should be an easy pick for me just going with Watkins, but I really don't understand what sort of form or patch Villa are currently going through, so I don't know that I want to risk it leaving the armband on him. And my third striker is Mateta away at West Ham. We've seen that they're really vulnerable at set pieces and crosses. I'm hoping Mateta can capitalize on some of those and get returns in that game against West Ham. On my bench, I have Dubravka at home to Nottingham Forest. Burnley they've actually been really solid, barring the fact that they've conceded a couple of goals, but their defensive structure has been really good. They gave Liverpool a really tough time in that game over the weekend. But yeah, I wouldn't be starting Dubravka. I'm going to start Raya. My first sub is Reinders away at Arsenal. I also have Tosin away at Manchester United and Goodmanson away at Wolves. So this is what my team looks like. My captain is on Mo Salah, like I said, and my vice captain is on João Pedro. Slim chance that I do end up changing it, but I am interested in seeing what transpires in the games tomorrow. I am open to captaining Pedro. It seems like a huge risk, especially if Salah decides to go off in that early kickoff. So I don't know that I want to risk it yet, but I will decide before the deadline. But right now, my captain is on Salah and my vice captain is on João Pedro. So this is what my team looks like going into Game Week 5. If you've enjoyed this video, please do well to like, subscribe, share. The goal for this video is 1,000 likes. Let's try and hit 1,000 subscribers as well. Thank you guys for watching my FPL video, and see you in the next one.